I now invite Mr. Amit Agarwal, Chairman of the Indian Technical Textiles Association and CTM Technical Textiles Limited.
Very good afternoon. I just got a jinx that we are running late of time, so I have to be short and sweet. So first of all, thank you, Darshana ma'am. Because of you being the pillar of our textile Ahmedabad, Gujarat, we are feeling very excited always whenever we meet you and for the textile industry for that matter. Respected UP Singh sir, VK Singh sir, and all the industry delegates, friends, everybody from the on the internet. You have given me two introductions. So one Chairman ITTA and one as a CEO of the CTM Technical Textile, my own company. So as Chairman ITTA, I would make a small comment. The PLI scheme, ma'am, would be a game changer actually. Why? Because since my relationship with the Textile Commissioner Office, I can see Ajay Pandit sir, whom we have worked together for almost 10 years with the TXC office. And at that point in time, the scheme was a very small schemes. TMTT was a scheme on technical textiles. A northeastern scheme was also there for the agrotech, geotech, etc. But now, under your Modi government, the grandeur has become increased, ma'am. You see, the scale has become increased. We are talking of 10,000 crores. So I have personally seen that shift from where we were talking about technical textile, a small scheme of TMTT, to what we are talking today. This will definitely go a long way in what we are talking as technical textile as a sector. Number one. Number two, what this PLI will definitely give, ma'am, is, or for that matter, that this 300 crore, it gives a fillip of the investment. So when we talk about the basic raw materials, the major companies abroad, or I know a company internationally who's intending to put up a huge plant here in more than 1,000 crores, this will give us the raw material advantage. To be in a downstream, small SMEs company like us can cater ourselves with this ATUF and TTDS, whatever is going to come after the 1st of April. I'm sure the nitty-gritty of ATUFs, the scheme which is going to finish, and then TTDS is going to come in. We'll be able to manage with the 50, 100 crore stuff like that. But the 500 crore, 1,000 crore, that is going to come from big players, and that is where this PLI scheme will be definitely a game changer. So I thank Government of India, Ministry of Textile, to come up with this vision of this particular scheme and the Mitra put together, because ultimately it will create a huge ecosystem of what the basic raw material availability ki humne jo baat ki, carbon fibers, aramides, glass, polyesters, in fact, that for that matter, high tenacity, low elongation, etc. polyesters are still not available in the number that we want. One Chinese company will have the total more capacity than about all of us put together in such kind of yarns. So I think that is going to be a game changer for us in the downstream industry, for us to go in the downstream industry, and for the domestic as well as for the exports. So that's as far as, ma'am, me as a Chairman ITTA would like to say. Now as CEO Technical Textiles CTM, my own company into the geotech and agrotech sector, I want to speak about the agrotech sector because geotech, my friend Dalmaji already spoken about it. I think, ma'am, an integration between what we produce as an agrotech manufacturer is not about only the product. It's about the integration between the product and the benefit to the farmer. For example, in agrotech, why do the farmer for a nursery should use a green color shade net? It's $1 million question. I still have no answer to it. Why only we can see only the green color in the field wherever there is an agrotech application for the nursery. So the usage of agrotech at the grassroots level with different climatic conditions, with different areas where that net has to be put up, and what is it that he is growing. If that collaboration is being done between the MOT, I mean the Agriculture Ministry plays a major important role in as far as that is concerned, I think the huge consumption can increase as far as the agrotech is concerned. Furthermore, I understand that if the Minister of Agriculture gives us that information or what is the shortage happening, for example, in cotton, we were a cotton excessive country, ma'am. And now with the almost, I think, 5 million spindles are being invested in Gujarat, already invested for that matter. So now we will see that a huge cotton raw material demand is increasing and the demand supply gap is going to level up. So what used to be going into the CCIs ke godown ke andar as a backlog of whatever we had excess surplus, aane to CCI mein, and the farmers had to be paid off so that he can hamara ko cotton ka price mil jaye. That's not going to be there the next couple of years. So mind you, we are going to be a net exporter of cotton to being a net importer of cotton in times to come. So that is where I think as an agrotech manufacturer, we need to collaborate with the cotton guys and look for it as to what we bring on the table for them to implement, so that the per hectare or per acre of the production capacity which a raw cotton would give X kilos could go 2X, because internationally that is already happening. So that's a very important message that I want to put across as a agrotech manufacturers as to how do we collaborate with the agri-tech sector and bring them the value what they would need, so that they increase its production and therefore their income. Water, Dr. Saraswat talked about the 4 or 5 important points of environment, climate change, forestry, and all these things which together as an agrotech manufacturer, I think it's very important for all the 4 or 5 points, because if it is climate change, then open a field of cultivation, which a cotton is there today, due to vagaries of nature, tomorrow the wind would be coming, unseasonal rain would be coming, and everything is gone. So how do we bring on table for them an agrotech product which gives them that satisfaction that no, his crop will remain and go into the market? That's my one point of view. For example, bamboo, we talked about bamboo earlier. In India, it was considered as a tree. Modi Sarkar did it as a grass. I think, I'm not sure how many of it knows about it. So tree under the Forest Act cannot be cut or transported, but as a grass, it can be cut, also used. So how can we do something about use of the bamboo so that it can huge application? For example, sanitary napkins can use a bamboo fiber for their absorbability, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Innovation, R&D can be done. So that's where I think all the product lines of the agri sector, one-on-one, area-wise, could be looked into and see where we can bring on the table for that particular segment of the product. For example, maize. Huge consumption of maize is happening for the starch or for normal, stuff. And for the biodegradability, people are talking about the maize, use of maize. How can we bring on the table to the agriculture ministry that, look, we as an agrotech guys can give you this solution which will increase your production. I think this kind of a brainstorming with the agri guys, if we can do, ma'am, I think there could be a huge potentiality we have in place for us, and our agrotech consumption and the benefit to the all stakeholders can be there. Thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. I invite Shri UP Singh to give a short summary and the way forward.
I will do it from here, or should I go there? I think we are already running short of time, and I don't want to repeat what already people have stated. I'll just take not more than 5 minutes. One is that, frankly speaking, I am also learning the ropes of the technical textile. In fact, in a way, I am still learning textiles, because textile is one sector I had never worked and only about last 1 year. So generally, the best way to learn is from the people, from the industry itself, actually. So one is that I feel that I am greatly benefited by what I have learned, and some of the suggestions are already have come. Even though my colleague presented about a mission, technical textile mission, frankly speaking, maybe because of the last 2 years, this mission was launched in 2020, February 2020, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, because of last 2 years have been a little difficult for everyone because of the pandemics, we haven't been able to put a mission director, which we would hopefully we would be doing very soon. And as you have said, that even though we talk of 1,400 crore as a corpus for it, even right now, all we have done is primarily that R&D, and that to R&D also just 31 projects for about 108 crores, which was shown in the presentation. So we have approved. It is not that those R&D projects have gone to a logical conclusion. So still a long ways to go, because first of all, we need to at least, my target is the next 6 months, we approve the projects for entire 1,000 crore. And there, the industry also has to collaborate with research institutions and technical institutions in India, so that we are able to do it. There are 2-3 other components which I have said, and fairly large outlays are there for that also. So whether it's for promotion, whether it's an export promotion, whether it is for skilling, education. So we have, so I would, first point I would like that we must, I would request industry to collaborate with the government and our National Technical Textile Mission to make this mission really useful to everyone. The other, of course, it's a very exciting, I think, for the technical textile. Just now, we were told that how from a largest exporter or largest producer of cotton, we are going to become a net importer of cotton. In fact, this year it is expected, the kind of spindle which is being added, as he said, for the next 1.5 years, I was talking to LMW, and they were saying for last 1.5 years, their entire capacity is booked already actually. So for, they can't take a new orders as far as the new spindles is concerned in the country. So this year I expect that the total consumption in the country of cotton would perhaps be more than the total production, because this year production was also affected by unseasonal rains and then bollworm attack, pink bollworm attack. So the expansion, one of course he said it from different point of view, and that's a very valid point of view in the sense that we haven't, after the first breakthrough from 2013-14 onwards, if you have a look at it, our production has been in the range of 350 lakh bales. There has been no growth actually, and it's very difficult to expand area, because all the crops compete with each other. So only way is perhaps to increasing productivity. And one way, of course, is the protected cultivation, which he was talking of. And when he was talking of the more use of agrotech. But other ways also, because entire expansion, what we are talking, going from 140, 150 billion to 250 or 350 billion and exports to 100 billion, that has to come primarily from man-made fiber and technical textile. And it wouldn't be so much from the cotton-based act. So from that point of view, and in the presentation you saw, in India, our penetration level is very, very low as compared to the West. So there is a lot of scope for increasing the uses of technical textile, whichever, any of the segments actually. Few segments people talked just now, or geosynthetics, or sports beer, or whatever it may be, everywhere. The other is, even though it's we are happy that now from a net importer we are becoming a net exporter, but still import is fairly large, about 2 billion import. So there is a lot of scope for substituting import substitution. And thirdly, we are only marginally positive as far as the export is concerned. So maybe import is also about 2 billion, export is also about 2 billion. So I think in a few years' time, at least we can go from a 2 billion export to about 5 billion or so, would be quite in the realm of possibilities, in my opinion. So I think it's a very exciting time for the technical textile and all the people who are present here, and we would be working with you. And maybe, like right now, we are talking of technical textile in general. I think we should meet in maybe a smaller groups or whatever for each of the segments. And as you rightly said, that we must involve the concerned ministries also, like let's say Ministry of Road Transport and Highways or Ministry of Agriculture. In fact, I myself used to be, before I came last year here, I used to be, for more than 3 years, I used to be a Secretary of Ministry of Water Resources. And that is the first time I heard technical textile. And I was just wondering what a technical textile is. Right now also it becomes very difficult to explain people what is a technical textile. We say, okay, it's a functional textile, and then these days, of course, I say the N95 mask you are wearing, it's a technical textile. All those protective gears, which is technical textile. So technical textile, so I remember that was the time when I worked with Central Water Commission, and we had standards developed, and that was not even in SOR, what is called schedule of rate. For an application you require for a tendering, that how does it comes into schedule of rate. So a lot of things we did actually. And it was suggested in the morning also that we have to have again a kind of an interministerial a body which meets frequently and discusses the ways and means to promote more and more uses of technical textile. Of course, there are lot to be do. In fact, Mr. Saraswat was saying that we must collaborate with some foreign countries. He was basically talking for the aramids actually, because there are few areas where we don't have technology here. I'm told that perhaps Reliance has done some work on that. So we have to work on what should I say, a different levels actually, right from promoting more use of technical textile and finding new materials and all the R&D work. So I think it's a good time, and the discussions which has already taken place and discussions which will take place in the remaining hours would certainly help us in taking a technical textile to a new level. And again, I just got a message from the minister's office that minister is now likely to come around 3 p.m. or so. So I hope that all of you who are here would remain present throughout the day, and we'll get an opportunity to listen to the minister as well. Thank you very much.